On this episode of That Carolina Guy, going to dive in and look at the big four, folks. The four fast food burger joints, probably most known in my region of the world, maybe not yours. And we're going to look at three items we definitely think if that's all they had to keep, that's what they keep. And maybe even look at an item on their menu that you'd like to do away with. Before we get into today's content, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, folks. It's free of charge. Pound that like button, hit that bell notification, be notified of future videos like this on this channel. And by all means, folks, leave some comments. I love the dialogue. All right, folks, kind of want to look at this and just kind of give out here and say, I was going to start looking and go out to eat, and I'm a burger guy. And I'll probably do it for different locations. But where I'm from in the southeastern part of the U.S., or I can say just in North Carolina in general, are big four burger places, not a off-the-wall burger place that might be the deal, and even not a Five Guys because of the expense, and I love Five Guys, folks. That's my favorite. But just looking at your typical drive-through fast food, pick it up, go home and eat it because you don't have a lot of time kind of burger joint. So I'm looking at McDonald's, I'm looking at Burger King, I'm looking at Wendy's, and I'm looking at Hardee's. And Hardee's, of case, if you live in the Southwest, on the West Coast, it's Carl's Jr. Okay? All right, so the three items at McDonald's that I definitely think, if they were going to shut the place down and this is all they would have to serve, I would have to say they're French fries. And don't get me wrong, lately when I've gotten French fries from McDonald's, sometimes they get a little oily, they get a little stale. And I just think it has to do with how long they've been in the fryer or whatever. But when McDonald's is spot on and they pull those fries out and they're seasoned right, you don't need ketchup for their fries, folks. Some of the best fries I've ever had have come from McDonald's. And that's one thing I think that it's the go-to thing. In fact, there's been times I've been to other burger joints and I didn't like their fries, and I've ran right through a McDonald's beside there just to get fries to go with the other burger. Number two is a Big Mac. Big favorite of mine. I love a Big Mac. If there's any changes I do to it is adding a bigger patty. That's why if you've ever had a quarter pounder and you tell them to dress it like a Big Mac, it's a better sandwich. But you couldn't do away with a Big Mac. Now, the third option on my McDonald's list is probably one that's going to surprise you. I can get really good nuggets from other places. Hey, I like a McDouble once in a while from McDonald's. It's good. I didn't even put the quarter pounder on this list, and I could have, because sometimes I go to the quarter pounder more than a Big Mac. And what about a McGrill? That's something I've never tried, and I want to go ahead and eliminate. I would love to try it one time before I roll it out. But I just can't get around when I go to McDonald's because that Big Mac is calling me, or their fries, or even getting a quarter pounder. I never can get around to eating a McGrill. Hey, and the McChicken at McDonald's is not terribly bad. But the third item I would say for McDonald's, and I'm probably going to get some stones thrown at me, the fish sandwich. I've had fish sandwiches from other restaurants, and they've been too oily, too fishy, dry. Man, I get that fish sandwich from McDonald's. I can even eat it with tartar sauce, and I'm not a tartar sauce guy. But if I get it plain and put a little ketchup on it or mayo, even with the tartar sauce, it's good, man. That fish sandwich from McDonald's rocks. And it's just a really small sandwich, and sometimes if I don't get a Big Mac, and let's just say I get a McDouble, and I'm going to get two McDoubles, sometimes I might just get a McDouble and a fish sandwich. And as a bigger guy, that satisfies my need pretty well. So that's my three there. Burger King. Well, no doubt in my mind, folks, I've got to keep the Whopper on this list. By all means. And sometimes I remove the onions. I love a raw onion, but sometimes, man, if you're going out in public and you breathe on somebody, those onions are rough, folks. Those onions are really rough. Now, other than that, I'd say you got to also look at the classic chicken sandwich from Burger King. I think that classic chicken sandwich is incredible. I like it better than the other ones. And I know Popeyes has got a good chicken sandwich, and we'll get into Wendy's has had good chicken sandwiches. McDonald's in a pinch, I like their Southern style when they add it up. But man, Burger King's classic chicken sandwich has always been a go-to sandwich for me, and I've loved it. Number three might shock people, but I'm going to say they're onion rings. I don't always get them. Burger King's a place where I got a little quirky thing I do. I put their French fries in a bag. I had a friend from Puerto Rico, Louis Rodriguez, years ago I went to school with, and we used to go to Burger King once a week. And he always dumped his fries in a bag and then dump ketchup, 5 or 6 ketchups in the bag and twist the bag up and shake it. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he'd open the bag and be all gooey. But man, Burger King has really been pretty bad on their fries. So I kind of, and they're not bad now, but there's been times where their fries suck, folks. That's why I'd go to McDonald's and get fries with a Burger King burger. But, man, those fries are so good like that with the ketchup. But the third thing I put on Burger King that I would keep is onion rings. Because not everybody does onion rings well. Sonic's got a decent onion ring. There's a couple other places that have it. I think Cookout. But, man, the best onion rings to me are from Burger King. Now, things that didn't make the list, hey, just a normal cheeseburger at Burger King. Because they don't put mustard on the Whopper. And it's got a good mustard to ketchup ratio. And the Big King. The Big King has got that, like, Big Mac sauce. It's not bad, plus the bacon. But I definitely say Burger King's the Whopper, classic chicken sandwich, and the onion ring. Now, number 3 is Wendy's, the Baconator. The Baconator is the best sandwich by far. You cannot go wrong with it. It is a great sandwich, and I think you've got to put that on that list. It's moved up. It used to be the double from there, or you could eat a triple, but the Baconator is the sandwich. Number 2 is a Frosty. Can't go wrong with a Frosty. In fact, every time I used to get a double with cheese, with the fries or whatever from there and a drink, I always got a Frosty on the side. Because if I eat the Frosty with the meal, I'd end up being thirsty. But sometimes I'd kind of eat the Frosty with the meal and drink the drink. But really good, folks. I like a Frosty. Then number 3, folks, believe it or not, is a baked potato. They have a really good baked potato. If you ever want to cut back on the fries, I think that's something that they should not do away with. Now, their chicken sandwich could make this list. It's fallen off at times, and they've gotten back into burger wars. It used to be a time, though, man, if I didn't get a burger from Wendy's before they had a Baconator, when it was just like a double from there, half the time I'd get their chicken sandwich. It really had a great taste. And I can't knock Wendy's fries. At times, Wendy's fries have sucked. Sometimes it's good. But I'd say there's the Baconator, the Frosty, and probably a Baconator, although now I'm thinking of their chicken sandwich might knock that off the list. And finally, we get the Hardee's or Carl's Jr. Now, I got an asterisk by the first item, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. The roast beef sandwich. I don't have an Arby's in my area. I got to drive 45 minutes to get to an Arby's. I got to cross the line to go to Virginia to get an Arby's. But the roast beef at Hardee's is just as good. It's an awesome sandwich. I don't like horseradish. I don't like stuff like that or barbecue sauce. I always get mayo and put a little mayo on my roast beef. Now, maybe that's sick to you guys, but I love it. But I just went to get a roast beef from Hardee's about 2 weeks ago, and they discontinued it. After all these years of not having it, and they finally bring it back, and they've kept it back for a little over a year, they've done away with it. But if I was Hardee's, and my Hardee's I'm located has fried chicken, and it's good. But I can get fried chicken a lot of places. I can't get roast beef everywhere. Number 2 is the Frisco burger from Hardee's. That is a great burger on sourdough bread, tomatoes, Swiss cheese, mayo, just and bacon. It's a good taste. It's a good burger. And then number 3, folks, a jumbo chili dog. Now, I can go to Sonic and get a chili dog. I can go to a couple of like Dairy Queen and get a chili dog. But jumbo chili dog at Hardee's is the way to go. Now, they got great sweet tea there. They got like a thick burger from there is good. And their smaller burger's pretty good. You can't go wrong there. So, folks, tell me, what is your go-to place? What's the 3 items you would get from McDonald's? Or what's an item you'd eliminate? Or Burger King, or Wendy's, or Hardee's, Carl's Jr. Leave me some comments. Pound that like button. Remember, I love the dialogue on the comments. Hit that bell notification to be notified of future videos like these. And by all means, folks, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. I will see you on another episode of That Carolina Guy.